Hello, good evening and welcome to the program. This is Daily Politics, your hope for all things politics, policy and governance. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Tonight we delve into the escalating leadership crisis rocking the Labour Party. Since 2023, the party has been entangled in internal strife after Deputy National Chairman South, Lamidi Papa, took control following a court ruling barring Julius Abure and others from acting as national officers. Though Abure fought back with the NLC support, his re-election at a controversial Congress earlier this year deepened the divide. As legitimacy issue festers within the Labour Party, a new 39-man committee headed by former Minister of Finance Ninadi Usman has emerged, backed by Peter Obi and Governor of ABIA State Alex Otti. Meanwhile, another faction led by former Deputy Chair Callistus Okafor is claiming leadership of the party, further compounding the party's political fate. With the Independent National Electoral Commission also stepping in to the battleground, the struggle for the control of the Labour Party continues to intensify. Joining me tonight on the program to dimension and unpack these developments within the Labour Party is the National Secretary of the Labour Party, Umar Farouk. Good evening to you and thank you so much for joining us on the program. It's good to have you.
Good evening, Malamat.
Sum it up for me, what is going on with the Labour Party today?
Well, it's a normal inter-party crisis that is bedeviling almost all the political parties. And more often, I believe, it is as a result of, ideological inefficiency of so many members of the party, particularly the elected members. They use political parties as a vehicle or a ladder to get to where they want to, and if by the grace of Almighty they are there, then they start to think that they can come and have complete control of the party's mechanism, party's structures, just for the purpose of their own selfish interests. They will forget that when they were, before they come in and join the party, they were leadership. That same leadership saw them into where they are. And that is, I believe, is some of them are very ignorant of the political party's constitution. Well, some believe that they belittle or they look down on the leadership where they are. So they feel that let them bring some of their kinds and then do what they think. But they forget that when the political party is created, and once there is a constitutionally established leadership of the party, then it will be very difficult to say that you are going to take over that control.
So in your view, who is right and who is wrong here based on the legality of all the actions that have been taken over the past few months and weeks?
Well, Ahmed, I don't think I will be here if I believe I'm not right. I'm the National Secretary for the party for the first 2 years. I have been in the Labour Party for more than 10 years. I was the state chairman of Labour Party in Kaduna State. I was also the national vice chairman, Northwest, of the Labour Party. And then I became the National Secretary after the demise of Abdullahi of blessed memory. So if I believed what we are doing or the struggle we are doing to ensure that the party leadership is institutionalized and the party leadership remain where it is and how it is, then I wouldn't even be here. I would have given up and say, well, you people I cannot come and involve myself in any illegality. I believe, the people who are fighting us, you recall that in your presentation, you said that there was a crisis between APAPA in the 2023, just immediately after the presidential election. And since APAPA was not on the court decided that, look, APAPA, you are not doing the right thing. Follow the constitution of the country, follow the Electoral Act, and then follow your own party constitution. And the court judged in our favor. You understand? In the favor of the leadership and NWC of Julius Abure. So that is what is happening. And still, what these people are doing, they felt that they are a member of the party and they can come and just bulldoze their powers and take control over the party.
Is this fight for the heart and soul of the Labour Party a fight between the leaders of the party, that's the National Working Committee, and the Obidient movement?
Well, I think to some extent I will say yes, because when we were going to, when we gave notice for the convention, what I think the presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, complained is that he wants us to include everybody to come. Well, we say no problem. The leadership, the constitution provides that as long as you are a member of the party, a card-carrying member, and you are a financial member of the party, you can come and vie for any position. But at the same time, it's not just to come and, fuse people there. Let them come and let us see what is the difference, which position do they want. So everybody should come, buy form, do what you want to do, and then the people will elect you. And mind you, election in the position of National Working Committee and then to some extent NEC is being considered or is being provided by the constitution of the party. And the NEC is responsible for determining, coming out, setting up the guidelines and so on and so forth. So we felt that the Obidient were, praising or pressurizing Peter Obi to come and take the soul of the party, and then they want to take control of the party.
You people to run the party well? Is that what is going on here?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they feel that. I think it is so much of a selfishness, in the position. Well, on the part of the Obidient, you cannot eat your cake and have it. You brought a candidate, and that candidate will accommodate him in the party, and then you two will accommodated you, and then we vie for elections. Some have won, some have lost, which eventually our presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, lost the election. The way we won the election, the way we failed, but at the same time, how we fought it up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled. You understand? So that's come to an end of what we are doing. Now, the selfishness obviously is from the part of the Obidient. They should have come and learned the lesson of the party. It's not that they are better than us. What is there is that we are not. What was that?
People say today the Labour Party would not be where it is today without the Obidient movement. Is that statement true or false?
Well, it could be fair if we say if there is no Labour Party, if Obi have not gotten the ticket in Labour Party, he might not have been where he is today. So it's a win-win this thing. So if you look,
don't think the Peter Obi and his movement made you 3 times or 10 times popular?
Well, I want to believe sincerely that political parties are being influenced more and more by the capacity and caliber of their presidential candidate. But don't forget, the 2023 general election is entirely a different thing. People don't understand the dynamics in which the entire 2023 general election took place. There are so many factors. The Muslim ticket. The South felt being this franchise. The Southwest. Southeast, and then so many factors. So why Obi was there? If there was Obi in the ballot, someone could have been the Obi, and then obviously the Obidient will just come and become Konkosia or maybe.
You're saying you could have came third in the elections with or without Peter Obi. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it depends on who is the candidate of the party. What I'm telling you is that there are several.
You seem to be dismissing the political currency of the Obidient movement.
It's
Peter
not,
Obi himself.
You see, look, don't misquote me or don't misunderstand me. What I'm saying is that Obi is a factor, but the factor that makes him to be who he is, and the factor that makes him to be where he is the Labour Party. There was a ticket. If there wasn't a ticket, you would not have anything to do with any Obidient. I think Obi was also a vice presidential candidate. Did he carry that cloud? Did he carry that movement? But when he came, after being prostrated in the PDP, he came and then got the ticket of the Labour Party. Certainly, some people come in, and we went to, because of the ideology or the philosophy or the manifesto of the Labour Party. Labour Party stood for all that Obi, seems to stand for. So therefore, we want to believe that the dynamics that played in the 2023 general election make Peter Obi to be what he is, and make the Obidient movement, to play the role they did. You understand?
Okay. Let's take a couple of steps back to what happened in ABIA during that special stakeholders meeting. And let's also hear the perspective of the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi, about the quagmire or the internal wranglings regarding the Labour Party leadership. This is what he had to say at that stakeholders meeting. Take a listen.
We're going to do one simple thing. We have said we're going to set up a caretaker committee to be able to go into resolving this. And we're just going to do a 29-member committee. The reason is that the work is huge. We're talking about the whole federation. We're not going to do like Dr. Victor said. We don't want to say we are doing something in Kogi. We're not doing it in Kwara. No. We want to publicize that this party today is the third biggest party in Nigeria. And I can tell you, have the brightest future of all the parties in Nigeria if we do the right thing.
Excerpts there of the thoughts of Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election from that special stakeholders meeting, which has become a source of controversy for the Labour Party following that declaration of the 29-member caretaker committee of the Labour Party that will be headed by former Finance Minister Ninadi Usman. And of course, the National Working Committee responded quite fiercely by saying this is illegal, this is unrecognized, unconstitutional, and so on and so forth. Yes. In that message, it's very clear from Peter Obi's perspective, who is the face of the Labour Party in Nigeria today, that they are trying to fix a problem. And it's safe to say that you are part of the problem. The leadership, the current leadership, that is trying to be ousted is a part of the problem.
Well, you see, with due respect to my big brother Peter Obi and our presidential, the then presidential candidate, you see, it is very unfortunate. The gathering in Umar here, they do not have the constitutional power in Labour Party to even call for that meeting. Talk less of setting off a caretaker committee for the party. There is a procedure and guideline. National Working Committee is the only body that is responsible for instituting a leadership structure or a leadership change. And if you are going to have a meeting for any reason, the Constitution provides that the National Secretary will be the one to issue notice for that meeting. And in that ABIA gathering, I think the only person that is in the member of the INEC is just two people. That is the governor of ABIA and his deputy in the NWC. Secondly, you cannot see, how can you come when there is a sworn in a legally established leadership, and then you come and say you are going to set up.
Let's talk about the legally established, because you talk about how they lack the constitutional backing according to the constitution of the Labour Party, but there is an even bigger constitutional provision. We know INEC has the constitutional mandate to organize elections and also to regulate political parties.
Certainly.
INEC does not believe in the legality of the current National Working Committee, which you are a part of. Doesn't that make your position then irrelevant?
Well, you see, INEC as the regulatory body of political parties and then the conduct for any election, has its own regulation. The regulation that set off, mandated INEC to act is the 2022 Electoral Act. Section 82 of the Electoral Act, sub 1, specifically state how a political party should behave. Section 82 sub 1 stated that if a political party is going to have a meeting gathering for the purpose of electing or changing or bringing of any new thing in their constitution, they should give INEC 21 days notice.
Right.
For the convention to take place. 21-day notice. Shall, that is, we must give them that notice, which we complied. We give INEC more than 60 days, more than 80 days notice.
So,
for the purpose of...
But they were not there.
Well, let me take you to the provision that says that. They say shall, you must give them notice. Then subsection 2 stated that INEC may or may not monitor the election. So that means it is not mandatory for them to monitor the election. If they like, they should monitor.
Yeah, but that's not up to you.
It's not up to me. It's not up to INEC. It is up to the Constitution. It is up to the Electoral Act.
The Constitution is very clear.
That
is what INEC is doubling down on. They are unaware of any convention in Nnewi back in March.
They will not say that. INEC have never said that. But
that is what they're saying in court right now.
That is what they say in court. Then let us allow the judge, to deliver the judgment. How many cases have INEC been taken?
Until then, you cannot stand as the substantive leadership of the
INEC cannot.
If INEC doesn't recognize you, there is no legitimacy there.
Excuse me. You see, it's not up to INEC to recognize or not to recognize me.
I don't think so.
Listen.
Without INEC registration, you don't exist as a party.
INEC have never come out and say, look, we didn't recognize them until we took them to court.
Their case in
we
court
take
right
them
now.
To court.
Yeah.
It's not their case. It is our case.
Yeah, but that's their defense.
Well, if that is their defense, then we leave the law to take its course. It is the judge that will come and say, yes, INEC, you have done that. And we have several plural of judgments against INEC in that respect. So many political parties have survived. And INEC didn't listen to anybody. They listen to their interests until you go to court, and then they will listen to you.
Yeah.
So you understand? So many, what is the difference between what we are doing and what Obi was doing? What he did up to Supreme Court? You understand? With regard to INEC declaration. Yeah. INEC declared that...
You're talking about an election, and an election is a separate matter compared to a convention.
This one, a convention is an election. We were there to elect a leadership, which we did.
Which INEC says,
and which INEC says, and which is immaterial as far as you're concerned. So then we take them to court. And it is the court now that will say, look, what you are doing, or what you have done, or INEC, okay, we agree with you. That okay, this is it. Or INEC will declare and say that, and I'm telling you, honestly speaking, based on what we have, based on the several judgments that comes between, in favor of those the litigants, INEC will certainly come and succumb to us. We don't have any problem with INEC. We have problem with our elected members.
It's clear that INEC does not have.
INEC have never told me that they do not recognize me until I take INEC to court. So when we took INEC to court, then INEC come out and speak its mind. So now we are in court. So let the court now, pass judgment before we start saying whether we are not or we are not or we are. So INEC is the final court is the final arbiter.
Okay, so let's talk about the controversial Nnewi Convention, where you ratified and recommended reserve exclusively. It is in your communique. Exclusively reserved the tickets for 2027 for the presidency to Peter Obi and for ABIA to Governor Alex Otti. After what happened in ABIA, the leadership, the National Working Committee under Julius Abure, took it personal and revoked that particular decision. When we clearly know that you don't have the powers to do so, because the National Convention is the highest decision-making body of the Labour Party. So why did you do that?
You see, that is why when people are ignorant of the constitution of the party, the constitution provides that the NEC, after the convention usually, cedes its power to the NEC, and then NEC cedes its power to NWC. So that is why the working in the party, we usually implement what the constitution or what the NEC says we should implement. Now, we offer Obi and Otti. It's an offer we gave them. We say we reserved them. You say we reserve for them. Yeah. So it's left to them to take. And now they have blatantly refused.
How?
And even
at what point did they refuse exactly?
When they called that illegal convention, it is completely revealed. It is our leadership.
Yeah, but they didn't say it's about tickets.
Well, it is about leadership, and it is our leadership that gives them that.
So what has one thing got to do with the other? Because, like I did say, you're taking it personal because they're trying to oust you from your position in the National Working Committee. That is why you're also trying to take away what is exclusively reserved for them in a convention that you say was legal and constitutional.
You see, Balamla, you see, the NWC has the power to implement the decision of the convention and decision of the.
But the decision of the convention was to reserve the tickets for now, Alex Oti and Peter.
If I gave you something, I say, look, you can take this. I reserve this thing for you. Then you come and say, look, I don't even have the right to do that. So what do I do?
No, but they didn't say you don't have the right to.
That is what the Umar here gathering did.
Yeah, but if
they didn't recognize me, look, you see, we are the leadership of the party. We give you tickets. We say you come and join us. Then you say, look, I don't even want you.
Not at the same time. To be honest. What happened in March? This is. We're in September now.
Well, when
this happened way back in March, in the first quarter of 2024.
When you give somebody something and he come out and rejected it, you don't have to say no, I don't want it.
But
you can just push it like this.
They rejected exactly.
You know, by pushing us out, by pushing us away.
Okay, so
you understand? So they push us away.
Was it tied to you? This automatic ticket?
Certainly, automatic ticket that you say we give. We're not even saying that it is automatic. We say, look, we reserve that ticket for you. They have the first right of refusal, and now they have refused it. They did
because they were part of the convention, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
they were part of the convention, and they illegitimate the convention. So if you illegitimate what we did there, then why should you continue to be your own? You said the convention is illegal. You don't even consider it, and that is what is there.
Well, they didn't say it's illegal. They say according to INEC.
According to
INEC doesn't recognize the current leadership of Labour Party, and they, in their own words, this is an effort to save the party because of this leadership.
You see, that is what I'm telling you.
INEC does not recognize.
Mala Abdullahi.
When was the last time INEC invited you to any of his consultative meetings?
I think the only consultative meeting that we did not go was the one that we went there. And let me tell you, when we saw that our name was not there, the Labour Party name was not in the they didn't invite it. We
Why
wrote
did
to
they
them.
Not invite? They invited everybody else.
Listen. We wrote to them. When we went there, we didn't see our name. They said, look, there is a crisis in the Labour Party. Go and sort yourself out. Because at that time, NLC have written to INEC introducing some other people as the national chairman and national secretary. So that confusion, INEC said, let us go and resolve it. That was what happened. You understand?
Yeah, but in talking about what comes next, right? Now you're talking about you're talking about the Labour Party going through this whole difficulty. This whole difficulty because of the selfish interests of the Obidient movement, the governor of ABIA state, and so on and so forth. What, in your view, is going to come next? Because you have to hope that the judgment that will come out of this suit that you filed against INEC would go in your favor. Because if it doesn't, it means that you're out of it as far as the leadership of the party is concerned. Is there any out of the court negotiations with the Obedient movement to try and resolve this situation amicably?
You see, I think we, the leadership of the Labour Party, have opened doors and windows for us to sit down and reconcile this matter. And I want to tell you, it is the failure of our elected members to bring this party together. Their selfish interest, their ignorance of the constitution of the party, that was what brought about this crisis. If they had come to the party and then made the leadership, hey, what is the problem that is going on between you and INEC? INEC declared that this convention, they didn't monitor it. Then we'll tell you, look, is it INEC the problem? So let us follow INEC the way you people had followed INEC. How did they follow it? Take INEC to court. Let us test the legitimacy of what we have done.
Yeah.
But these people didn't come to do anything like that. They just felt that, so we have gotten INEC, so now INEC is our bride, so it's our sweet bride. So since INEC is, they didn't.
INEC doesn't have a dog in this fight.
Excuse me.
It is only a regulator.
They even have a lion.
Right.
You understand? They didn't have a lion. Because the stick INEC is using, do you understand, to hit on, you know,
what are you implying exactly? What are you implying? You're implying that INEC is working in favor of the Obi camp?
Well, unfortunately, I don't want to insinuate that because the matter is before the court. You understand? It's prejudicial for me to...
INEC doesn't have a favorite.
Well, I don't think so, because normally, that's why I said INEC listing only to the courts. The judgment, the judge that you say, as you rightly say, when we get a judgment against INEC, good and fine. And if we didn't get any, then we have another court. We can't go to appeal, we go to Supreme Court. That is how the cookies crumble. That is how the thing is going on.
Okay.
But what, instead of those elected members to come behind us and say, okay, let us save the party, then they quickly come and say, okay, let us join INEC and fight these people because they don't want us there.
They believe they're right, you believe you're right. It remains to be seen what comes out of it. But also, one thing is very clear. ABIA has gone on the offensive. Press conference after press conference trying to demarcate the Obidient movement when he implied that there is a need for the authorities to investigate the 2023 presidential election expenditure of the party, because he called out the names of significant figures in the Obidient movement. What was that all about? Well,
I don't think ABIA has done that. I am part of that.
He gave out account numbers.
You see, let me tell you what happened. You know, some people, I don't want to mention whether whoever they are or the Obidient.
I mean, they have already been mentioned.
Listen.
Yeah.
They went around saying ABIA has done this, he's a criminal, he has done this, he has stolen this, he has done this, he has done this. Say, okay, fine. If I say this, we have the party account. This is our party account. This our party account has been audited. Bring your own account. This is the campaign account, which he was not a signatory, I was not a signatory. There are people who are signatories. So let them also account for that. So that was what he said. There is nothing more, nothing less about that.
Isn't that akin to washing your dirty laundry in public?
Yeah, well, you see, dating. Well, I don't think there is anything, any date for us to wash. We have published our own party account. We don't have anything, so it's left to them now. What they are saying is that if they don't know there is account, that is why, you know, Aisha came out and started rolling out, okay, this is how they spend the money, they've done this, they have done this. If we didn't do that, nobody will know that you are not participant of that spending. I don't know how they spend account.
You don't think the national chairman is implying that there is some sort of illegality or fraud with the expenditure?
Well, let the people who are doing that, who are saying that, they should judge. All we say is that this is the party's account and this is the campaign account, and we are not party to the spending in the of the campaign accounts.
National Secretary, your final thoughts. How do you see this ending?
Well, I see we succeed in the court.
Who is we?
That is, we, the elected members of the National Working Committee. When we succeed, I see INEC, you know, taking the side of the law, obeying the court order, and then I see the leadership, particularly the elected members, will come and join hands with us to mend this issue. You should understand that and know political crisis is going on in every party. Labour Party is just a bit of the iceberg that is going on within us. And we believe we are all together, we are all family, it is bound for us to have this misunderstanding. Then by the time we are able to come together, okay, fine. What they are saying, INEC didn't recognize us. Now, hey, INEC, recognize them. INEC, okay, we recognize you. So now they will say, okay, fine, we should come together and continue.
With this court case, if you're victorious, INEC recognizes you, you see the likes of Peter Obi, Governor Alex Otti, and everybody else behind them coming back to the fold of the Labour Party under one umbrella.
Well, that is their wish. Remember that they came and joined the party in 2022, some of them 2022, 2023, and they came for a particular purpose. Some of them came to win election, they won. Some of them came to win election, they lost. So if they wish to continue, good and fine. If they didn't wish to continue, many other people will come.
Before 2023, the Labour Party didn't have a governor, didn't have as much lawmakers in the National Assembly. Just before we go, can the Labour Party survive as the third largest party in Nigeria without Peter Obi and the Obidient movement?
See, I don't understand why people are making so much. No, it's not. You see, the way people are saying Peter Obi, as if there's no anybody in Nigeria better than Peter Obi. That's the problem you people are saying.
No,
you are
for Labour Party, not for
Ahmed, you are also a Peter Obi. There's Peter Obi in you. So what is this I said? They are saying he's credible, he's this, he's this. There are no credible people around. We had governor before Oti. Didn't we? We have senators before these senators that are in the National Assembly. Labour Party has always been a very
survive without Peter Obi.
Of course, we have been surviving. We have been surviving before them, and then continue to survive without them. It's obvious we can survive. So let us see.
Okay. The next few weeks and months promises to be quite interesting, especially as we continue to follow this interesting development within the Labour Party. National Secretary of the Labour Party, Alhaji Umar Farouk, thank you so much for joining us on the program. I wish we could continue and double down on some of the other issues, but that is all the time we have for now.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure.
Right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is it for now. Coming up ahead, we take a look at the current crisis in Nigeria's